Welcome, Dominica. This is Kairi TV News. I am your presenter, Donella Rivera. Here are the big stories making the headlines. Labour Party candidate for the Salisbury constituency calls for peace and progress. Dominican youth presented with an avenue to voice their views on the country's political climate. And Dominica urged to practice Christian-like behavior during the election season. We'll be back with more details of these stories and more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Thank you for staying with us. Top in the news, DLP hopeful for the Salisbury constituency is calling for a vote for change on December 6th.
31-year-old Lindsay Frank is contesting the Salisbury seat on a DLP ticket in the December 6 general elections. According to a press release from the Dominican Labour Party, Frank was to have been launched in the community of Salisbury Tuesday night, but this was cancelled due to increased reports of threats to supporters of the DLP. The document went on to state it is alleged that some elements of the United Workers' Party, aided and abetted by the former Member of Parliament of the Salisbury constituency, are planning to take actions to prevent Laborites and Dominicans from participating in our rally in Salisbury. Speaking at a DLP rally in Vickers on Tuesday, the DLP hopeful for the Salisbury constituency called for peace in that constituency.
I am here tonight because I want to see peace, prosperity, and progress in our constituency. I will never be the kind of pal rep that endangers her people by asking them to commit crimes against the state and calling that a protest. Instead, I want to be the pal rep that uses the opportunity to fight for a back road in Monrachet, health center and sporting facilities in Salisbury, and risk management mitigation in Couliby Street.
The Salisbury constituency has been a stronghold of the United Workers' Party for decades, with Hector John having won that seat on a UWP ticket for the past few elections. Frank urged supporters to vote for change to see more progress in the constituency.
Brothers and sisters, is this the kind of Dominica that they want? Where we cannot come and show support to our next pal rep? Do we really want to live in a country that is run by people who thinks that the only way to represent us is by inciting violence? My people, aren't you tired of being in a constituency with a pal rep that has done not anything for 13 years? My tenure as a pal rep will be about people over politics. It is about country over colors. It is about service above self. So please, December 6th, it is important that you get out early and vote. Put your eggs by the shoe. Vote for Lindsay Frank.
In more developments, Dominica will join the global community in observing World AIDS Day on Thursday. Linda Martin has that story.
There is still a critical need for increased funding for the AIDS response to increase awareness of the impact of HIV on people's lives, to end stigma and discrimination, and to improve the quality of life of people living with HIV. World AIDS Day takes place on December 1st each year as an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV, to show support for people living with HIV, and to commemorate those who have died from an AIDS-related illness. Coordinator of the National HIV/AIDS Response Program, Lester Guy, says this year the unit is focusing on community engagement in order to help build community support for persons living with the disease.
We are shifting away, and that is one of the new findings, that the new evidence-based approach that we're having. We are looking at more community engagement, that this is not focused really on just the Ministry of Health, doing activities, but communities get involved, that community become more aware. And when we talk about community, we're not only talking about local government, we're talking about our faith-based organizations, our non-government organizations, our social clubs, our civil service organizations, because you have to bear in mind that the fight is not only from a health system perspective, but from everybody's. Because at the end of the day, you or family member of yours or close friend of yours may be infected with the disease and they're part of your congregation at your church. It means that the love and concern and the respect that you show to them as a human being will go a long way. Because that's how people do very well. People do very well when they have very good support. Once you take that away from them, they struggle. They struggle because there's the fear of denial, there's the fear of internal or intrinsic discrimination themselves or stigma on themselves, so they don't find themselves wanting to put themselves out there.
Statistics indicate only a third of people in key populations, including gay men and other men who have sex with men, transgender people, people who use drugs, sex workers, and prisoners, have regular prevention access. With only 8 years left before the 2030 goal of ending AIDS as a global health threat, Guy says prevention is a key focus worldwide.
We focus on prevention. And I'll tell you why it's important that we are focusing on prevention. So we are looking to eradicate HIV. Well, we are looking to eradicate AIDS at least in the next decade. Really, the target was 2030, but there's still a lot more stuff going on that's preventing us from getting to that point. Yeah? But once we can eradicate AIDS in itself, in terms of persons who are dying with the disease, it means that the people who are alive are taking care of themselves and the risk is lower. So hopefully sooner or later we'll not have to even think about HIV as a virus that's affecting us globally.
He encourages Dominicans to get tested and remember to be kind and show empathy to those who may be struggling with the disease.
We are doing testing at the National HIV and AIDS Response Program. We are doing testing at our health districts. Call the number 2665812, 2665813, 5811, 5915. And find out where testing is doing and get tested. And please remember, when you see someone who may be infected or affected with the disease, be equal. We are all equal. There are so many persons with a lot of people are dying with cancer. We are so empathetic to people who are diagnosed with cancer. We need to do the same for persons who may be presented with HIV, because they're individuals. They have lives, they have families, they're somebody's mom, somebody's sister, somebody's loved one. So we have to remember we need to treat them with respect and equality.
The theme for World AIDS Day 2022 is End Inequalities, End AIDS. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
Moving on to youth matters, the National Youth Council of Dominica has launched a politics and governance youth poll. Here is Kevin Scott with more.
The NYC has collaborated with the U Report Initiative to launch its Politics and Governance Youth Poll in Dominica in efforts to garner the views of youth on the snap election and governance. The data gleaned from this poll will be analyzed and presented at a virtual panel discussion that will feature local and regional youth activists, economists, and political senators following the elections. President of the NYCD, Ashma McDougall, says the council is focused on increasing opportunities for youth to be heard in efforts to advance social change.
The NYC has been steadfast, as you know, in increasing opportunities for the voices of youth to be heard, for the voices of youth to matter, and for the voices of youth to be considered. And in the past 2 years, safe enough, we have worked towards increasing the inclusivity of youth in national dialogues. We've seen more youth being included on steering committees, more youth being included on national boards, and other spaces, even political spaces and platforms, to ensure that we are represented well. What we're seeing from our peers is that they know their voices matter, They want to uplift the issues and they want to make their challenges be known to ensure that social change is advanced.
McDougall explained, since the introduction of the poll in Dominica on Monday, over 200 youth have participated in the poll.
We started the introduction of the survey from the 28th of November to December 7th, with the intent to cover voices of youth between the ages of 15 and 35. Now, some may argue that or be concerned for the inclusion of youth who are under 18. However, they would have been eligible to vote by 2024, and so they may have participated in the elections. More importantly, despite of their ineligibility, their voices matter as well. And so the sample was drawn from the 2011 housing and census population, and it was determined to be 389 youth. And over the last 40 hours, we have already had 250 youth participate in our survey in Dominica, which is quite amazing.
The poll can be found on the YouReport OECS digital platform, oecs.ureport.inc. Kevin Scott, Kairi TV News.
You're watching Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering. How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. An independent candidate for the Roseau North constituency plans to work in unity with the people to move the constituency forward.
Sherman Boston of Simon Bolivar Housing Scheme in Goodwill has thrown his hat in the ring for the December 6 general elections. Boston, who is serving his second consecutive term as a Roseau City Councillor, says he is concerned about the state of affairs in Roseau North, hence the reason he is a contender in next month's election.
I just take politics, leadership, very serious. It's not a joke thing. People's lives at stake there. So, from seeing certain names come up, and I was thinking, I just don't know whether it's a comic show. I mean, it have people actively involved. I didn't hear them coming up as a potential candidate. I don't come as a potential candidate, and that's fine with me. But if somebody come up and I see they do up to par to the job, I just tell myself that time I get a contest.
Okay.
Because we need somebody serious in Roseau North.
This businessman, who is also a contractor, told Kairi News he plans to work together with the people of that constituency should he be voted into office.
There are plenty of issues, I'll try to tackle all, but as a unified people, as a people. Not a political agenda, not trying to get my political party in power, I don't have the political party behind me, or not trying to keep my political party there, like saying yes to everything. So in my situation, I think I'll be the best candidate because I'll look at the neutral angle. Like, we're supposed to be neutral, I'll come down and I'll defend the people of Roseau North. And I say that now, from before as a Labourite, I'm of the opinion that Roseau North have been neglected.
And the Dominican Association of Evangelical Churches is urging Dominicans to practice Christian-like behavior during the election season.
Dr. Roosevelt's Kairi announced snap general elections earlier this month, which has led to much debate over whether or not this action was of moral and legal standing. According to a statement from the president of the Dominican Association of Evangelical Churches, Pastor Randy Rodney, the church's position must always be that of God's order supersedes the matter of national law and convenience. He went on to encourage Christians to do all to glorify God, loving those who do not express the same desire as themselves, regardless of their political stance. Pastor Rodney says, open quotes, I ask the church to use every opportunity to pray for the peace of the nation, remembering that while the people elect leaders in a democratic system of government, God's hand is superimposed on the course of the history of the nation. God will accomplish His will and direction for our land, and we will all be well. End quote.
You're watching Kairi TV News, a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines again. Labour Party candidate for the Salisbury constituency calls for peace and progress. Dominican youth presented with an avenue to voice their views on the country's political climate. And Dominica urged to practice Christian-like behavior during the election season. Tune in to 107.9, 93.1, 91.1, and 88.7 Monday to Friday to catch our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. Go to Kairi TV on Flow Channel 953 to watch our TV newscasts Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Kairi FM. Check us out on Instagram at Kairi FM and follow us on Twitter at Kairi FM Dominica. Feel free to visit our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Donella Rivia. Thank you for watching.